Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Roundup. We had to take some time on this one because, well, I decided to play in this weekend's Fire X All Will Be One pre-release. But anyway, so we're about most of the way through this week's roundup. Let's keep going, shall we? Kicking things off, we've got Avengers number 65. So, where we left off in Avengers Assemble, the crossover between Avengers and Avengers Forever, we learn the identity of Avenger Prime. He is, in fact, a Loki variant, which does make some sense. This issue, we get the origin of this particular Loki variant. It's explained that when he was younger, he found Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, still being with Thor's disembodied hand, still clutching the handle. It's explained that apparently Mjolnir had flown Thor into a sun. But Loki took over as Allfather, banished Odin to Jotunheim, but there's like, okay, what now? So he started to he scoured the multiverse and started talking to other Lokis, who were just as traitorous as him. A truth in the multiverse would be a Loki cannot be trusted, even among the company of Lokis. But he started to observe them from afar, and he constantly saw them being defeated by others, Avengers. We see a Loki getting knocked out by the Avengers of One Earth that consists of Jane Foster, Thor, Ironheart, and Captain Carter. That's actually kind of cool. But he noted that these Lokis were constantly being defeated. So, in the reality he hails from, he made a point to make sure that there would not be a new Thunder God. Captain America would ever hurl his mighty shield, and no Iron Man would ever be forged. He sacked Wakanda. And then he looked upon his work on his world utterly devoid of Avengers, a world of which he now stood as sole guardian protector, and realized too late that he'd done what Loki's always do. He found a way to lose. Without the Avengers, well, the threats that opposed Earth still came. Galactus, Celestials, a Mad Titan, so on and so forth. He defeated them all, but at great cost. And so he hurled himself to the sun. Ended up at the God Quarry. Asked for, and decided to. He was basically, told he was not to leave, but so he decided to. Something he did realize that on many of these Earths he saw, who was it that brought for that caused the Avengers to come together in the first place? Why? Loki. And so he decided he would assemble the mightiest Avengers in all of Infinity. But, well, Doom the Living Planet has arrived, along with the Army of Dooms. Avenger Prime manages to take them out. And, well, Loki kind of, does he knows when to be humble, basically. Say, hey, look, yeah, I know I'm Loki, but hey, I come bearing gifts. Right, we're getting stabbed in the back with apparently a symbiotic dagger. But what gift is it that Loki ends up bringing to the multiversal Avengers? More Avengers. Namely, the Avengers of Earth 616. Both the prehistoric and modern. And that is where the issue ends. I think I mentioned this with the last issue of Avengers Forever. I really should have seen it coming that Loki would be revealed as Avenger Prime. In the start of Jason Aaron's run, there was a sequence where he shows up and makes the claim of being the most important Avenger ever because he's the one who always brings them together. It's one of those things. Like I said, I should have seen it, but I thought it was just kind of an idle boast from Loki. Seeing his origin, seeing this particular Loki's origin is fairly interesting. It starts with more mischievous, villainous Loki that at bare minimum comic book readers and movie fans are more familiar with, and we get the more. But kind of a. When Loki wins, it's like, oh, maybe I kind of suck. So, like, okay, all right, and then trying to be better. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty, number 9. Where we left off, Cap had assembled his new invaders to liberate Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, which had been taken over by AIM. So they of course do have a plan. There's a lot of talk between Peggy and Steve about Bucky, Destroyer, and Sharon dealing with the drill. Nick Fury going to and the Redacted going to basically enlist the aid of Steve's various allies. But the drill gets destroyed. And it seems like the battle, everything's going Steve's way, but the power deploys a star point. MODOK. Mental organism designed only for control. And it turns out that this MODOK has basically the new invaders have been running this scenario multiple times, mentally, seemingly for MODOK's amusement, as he has defeated them. that is where the issue ends. Okay, well, that was not what I was expecting in the slightest. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Scarlet Witch #2, which appears to be continuing this month's trend of backup stories. We get a Blade backup in Moon Knight, and we get a Storm, a backup featuring Storm in Scarlet Witch. I have to wonder if maybe Marvel is experimenting with something similar to what DC does with some of its certain titles, having a running backup for various characters. But where we left off, Vision, the daughter of Scarlet Witch's ex-husband, the Vision, stepped through the last door, needing help. So Wanda does what she can to help her sort of daughter. Wanda thinks of Viv as her daughter. Not to say that Viv's mother isn't her mother, but Viv Vision's mother was a synthezoid whose mental pattern, whose mind was based off of Wanda's. So there's an argument that can be made that to a point there is Wanda's maternal feelings are warranted. But Viv is having bad dreams, largely about her mother and her brother. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't read the Vision series that came out a while back, but apparently Vision's wife murdered a man and killed herself to protect Vision and Viv. This also led to her brother to Viv's brother dying. But since this is considering nightmares, well, Viv and Wanda have to go to the dreamscape. So they go to sleep. Darcy is the one in the shop, and there's a recreation of the Vision family's house. But it turns out that the Dream Queen, Nightmare's daughter, is subsisting on on Viv's pain and sorrow. But Wanda's able to defeat the Dream Queen and even bargain with her. Basically say, okay, fine. If anguish and sorrow is what you sustain yourself on, you know, basically Wanda gives her a Saramal season with her worst nightmare, the loss of her sons. This pain should sustain Dream Queen for ages. Upon leaving, though, it turns out there's it's a bit more than it's seasoned with. She will now have to consume bliss to survive, but leaving But Wanda left Dream Queen's taste unchanged. The joy she needs will disgust her. And but they part ways. You know, Wanda asking her to tell her father to say hi. Have Viv tell her father hello for Wanda. And Wanda is still puzzling over the mysterious piece of metal. And she does slightly inquire about Darcy's mysterious past. And the bar with no name, um, Scythia, whom we don't see, but has checked one person out of the bar, and said that Darcy Lewis owes blood to the Baquet, and any who aided her in sheltering her will answer to Scythia. We also have a backup story with Storm visiting Wanda. In part to discuss the final moments of Magneto. But it turns out that, well, Wanda was going to make some tea, but, well, she's missing one of the ingredients because, well, maybe she needs to find some new foragers. But the ingredients she needs is specialized in a very specific place. Storm and Wanda go. Wanda insists throughout that Storm's power is, well, yes, it is her mutant powers. That there is still, because of the nature of it, there is still a connection to more primordial, potentially speaking, mystical power sources. But the guardian of the island, that the specific flowers that Wanda needs, is stocked by Wanda and Storm, and then they go back to the shop and, well, share a cup of tea. Apparently, it's incredibly good tea, and somewhat makes Aurora regret having voted against using resurrection protocols for Wanda. But that is where the issue ends. Like I said, with these backups, I do have to wonder if the plan, if to see the reaction, see if maybe that's a route to go down that Marvel might decide to go down as well. Person I'd be here for it, aside from the increased prices, but we'll see. Moving on to our last book for the moment, we have Batman: Legends of Gotham. This is, as far as I can tell, a one-shot. Red Hood's breaking into the Batcave and is caught by the Outsiders. But, so it turns out that Leviathan, the criminal organization Leviathan, managed to get a massive cache of information on superheroes from various organizations and people. The EO, the FBI, the CIA, Batman, and so forth. Apparently it's up for sale. But Jason is talked into joining the Outsiders in getting that, so they have to go to Gamora. You know, the island of Gamora. Which is kind of a pirate's paradise of sorts, including an orbital crypto bank. Well, the orbital crypto bank is obviously orbital, but there are servers for the bank in Gamora. But Jason Todd attempts to get into the auction of the data cache, but is refused. But Killer Croc shows up. Killer Croc is on the list, and just apparently he owes Jason pretty big for the last time Jason messed up his operations, and Jason's just gonna be his plus one that he drags Jason in. Bane is there. And, well, Bane is, in fact, Jason's true objective. The bidding begins. Bane wins the auction. But the plan is to disrupt the download and disrupt and stop the download. A tracer bullet is left on Bane's vehicle, which allows Red Hood and the Outsiders to track it. And so the Outsiders head to the Orbital Crypto Bank, break in, stop, do what they can to smash the place up, and they also take the data chip. But Red Hood escapes on his own, has to fight Katana, and then destroys the chip. But Bane was his mission all along. And the issues interspersed with flashbacks. Jason talking with Alfred, though one of the survivors is taken to prison. Claims that she swapped out the chips that Jason had, with the real chip with a fake, and supposedly gives the real to her employer, her true employer, Talia al Ghul. It's also revealed that the whole thing with Croc and Jason getting it was planned. And Croc is a big fan of classic French literature, and which is something that Jason's willing to help him out with. Now, if I remember correctly, in the New 52, I could be mistaken on this. I didn't read much of Red Hood and the Outlaws, but in the New 52, if I remember correctly, I think Croc was actually Roy Harper's sponsor, or at least he was involved in what led to Roy seeking help. I think, though, Croc may have, if I'm mistaken on that, and anyone who's watching knows otherwise, please, by all means, let me know. But yeah, I do have to wonder if this is something we'll continue, because, well, things are a bit different. Circumstances have become a bit different for Talia. But otherwise, a pretty solid one-shot. I feel like this probably should have come out a while ago, given, what else happened with Talia. But also there's the whole Infinite Frontier push, so yeah. Just because a story is published now doesn't mean it takes place in the primary DC timeline. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.